I haven't read any of these books. Oh, am I going to cry? Google gave me 0 results. Whew. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the second part of the video. I am trying to find some books that I have read in my Airbnb home. I'm trying to not disappoint myself that I haven't read any of the books in the part 1. Go on and watch it. In the part 1, I was showing you one of the shelves in my Airbnb home, and now I'm gonna show you the second shelf in my Airbnb home. This Airbnb is hosted by a woman and a man. Wife and a husband. I think in the part 1 we discovered his collection of books because we had their espionage books, thriller, mystery, war books. I don't want to put a gender on books, but I think there were more manish books. In this video we will discover her shelf of books, so I think there will be more womanly stuff here. I don't know. We will see this. In case you haven't watched my previous video, I'm staying in the Netherlands at an Airbnb and they have an amazing Dutch collection of books, and I'm trying to find some books that I have read or even heard of, because there are books that I've never heard of, like never before. I'm showing you the books that I have here in Dutch, and I am showing you the analogy in English, so you'll have an idea how this book looks like in English and what this book is about. And I'm giving you the summary of the book, so you will have an idea what this book is about. Yeah, in the previous video we discovered a lot of amazing books, and also I put some of them on my TBR even. We will start with Esma Abdelhamid, and the book is called Ich word voor mijn kinderen. This is how the book looks like. We don't have an English version here, we have a German, I think, version here. Loven Mutter. This will translate like loving mother, loving mutter, but I'm not a German expert. Google gave me 0 results. So I don't have any results on this book, but if you've read this book or you recognize the woman on the cover, because the woman on the cover I think is Esma Abdelhamid, so the writer, the person who wrote this book, leave a comment because I'm really interested. It's Loving Mother, the title of this book, and what this book is about. Let's go next. Julie Eller with Een Nieuw Beloofd. This seems like a love novel. And in English this will be A New Promise. Okay, we can work with that. So it's a book about God. Life can bring us to the end of everything, especially hope. When times are uncertain and overwhelming, it's easy to abandon God when it seems that He has abandoned us. It's Christian fiction, domestic fiction, and religious fiction. Looks interesting. Let's go next. Victoria Hislop, Het Kleine Paradijs. It's a roman, a fiction book. And in English it will be The Thread. So this is a poignant love story between medical student Dimitri and expert seamstress embroiderer Katerina. They are a pair always destined to be together despite being pulled apart by years of civil war and sabotage. So it's a love story, this one. A book about love story. For those who are looking for a love story, this might be interesting for you. And it has a cover of a love story book or a love story movie, don't you think? So Brenda Reed with Kind One Daisy. I think I'm getting better at my Dutch pronunciation. Very summary book. And in English this will be Heavenly's Child. I think I've heard of this one. Heavenly's Child. Of this three before I haven't heard. So this is a beautiful atmospheric novel set in the heat of Crete from the author of highly acclaimed The House of Dust and Dreams. Haven't read this one. It is the late 1916, and after her strict English boarding school, Angel is delighted to be back on Crete, the island she loves. Oh, Crete! I have never been to Crete, but this seems like a very interesting romance book about Crete. And I think if I will read this book, I will want to go to Crete in Greece. But I want to go to Crete anyway because it's beautiful there. But I heard that there are so many tourists, and I don't know if I want to go there with a lot of tourists. Have you been to Crete? What do you think? We have Dianek Banstra, Als det toi komst back. It has also a beautiful cover. It's like a city here. There isn't an English version of this book, but it's something about a vacation in Switzerland. I'm getting very good at my Dutch. So it has a pretty cover. I like this cover. It's like a picture from a book or a sketch in a museum. We have here De Mensen van de Ambulance by Mariette Middelbeek. I don't know, maybe this is a non-fiction book. Yeah, it's a book about medical stuff that I don't know. Yeah, I think it also doesn't have an English version, but it's about the people who work in ambulance and maybe how they give all this first aid in the case of need. So, Var min hart wound, Roman Omnibus. This book, it's a collection of 3 books, I think. There are 3 different authors here. Yeah, I can't find the English name of the book or the books, and all the authors are from Netherlands. Yeah, this is why I can find the English author of this book. I think it's pretty amazing that there are so many authors that we don't know of because they write only in their native language, and we can find their books in English, you know. We can find their books just in their native English. So I've read a lot of books in Romanian by Romanian authors that there are no translated in English, and no one will know about them because there are no English analogy, or by Russian, but Russian authors are more translated nowadays. I think though that there are Russian authors that are not translating in other languages, and this is a shame because this is a segment of literature that we will never know because there are no translation in other languages. Okay, we have here a book without a cover. It's Barbara Bickmore, Op de Adem van de Wind. Distant Star. China in 1923 was a far cry from the exotic land Chloe Kavanaugh envisioned. But Chloe was married to the Chicago Times' most famous correspondent, and this squalid, teeming land was her new home. Yet the winds of change were blowing. The sleeping giant of revolution was awakening. I've never read a book about China's revolution, so I think this will be... Oh, you know, this book reminded me of Margaret Mitchell's Gone with the Wind. I don't know, maybe because of the description, but winds of change, revolution, you know, all this jazz. Yeah, but I have never read about the China Revolution, so I may add this book to my TBR. Werlon in Stilte, G.K. Belleville. This seems like a French author. Go Down to Silence is the English title. Jacob Horowitz, a worn and bitter businessman tycoon, has never spoken to anyone about his experience of Nazi persecution during World War II, not even his recently deceased wife Lisa. Suddenly stricken with terminal cancer, the aging Jew receives an invitation from his old friend Pierre, a Gentile Christian and former Belgian underground operative, to pay him one last visit in Belgium. I was visiting Belgium like last week, I think. Yeah, last week. Okay. Jacob accepts and determines to take along his estranged son Isaac. These fast-paced, vivid historical accounts set alternately in war-torn Europe and today's United States. The consequences of war become clear. It's a book about post-war, I think. Yeah, it's also a more, I don't want to say mainly book, but it's about post-war, so, and about men. I don't really do war books, like I said in my previous videos, because I am crying all the time. But this seems interesting, I think, for the lovers of post-war books. Jan Platz on the Schulen. Beverly and David Lewis. This author seemed like English one. The English version of this book is Sanctuary. It has the same cover, by the way. And it's about... okay, it's, I think, also a Christian book, so we have a lot of Christian books here. She prayed the day would never come, but when her past comes calling, Melissa James has no choice but to flee. Pursued and living on the run, she finds long for a sanctuary in Amish country. Part thriller and art romance, Sanctuary is a compelling story of revenge, the price of freedom, and the solace found in friendship. So maybe not a Christian book, but I see that is in Christian books, fiction category. So yeah, who likes Christian books, you can check this one. Dr. Queen Trilogy. I think I've heard of Dr. Queen Trilogy by Dorothy Lawton. There is a TV show. Okay. Ah, no, I know the TV show. I've seen the TV show pictures. I didn't see the TV show, but the pictures are familiar. The daughter of a Boston physician, Michelle Queen, defies convention and fights to overcome the opposition of her mother to become a respected doctor. A dream that takes her from Boston to a job in the Wild West. I think I should check this out. Have you read this trilogy, or maybe it's a series? Because I've seen on Goodreads that there are a lot of books. And did you like it? Trilogy about a doctor who goes in Wild West and I think finds new men. And maybe lovers. Who knows? Jan Hussamen, Kick Me in the Ocean. This sounded not right. I found only this version of this book on Google. I don't see an English version. I don't know if there is one, which is pity. Gert Mack, Who Got Word When with Jor Word. It also looks like a picture from a book. Also doesn't have English translation. Or I did not find it. Lynn Austin, Lopen op het water. Oh, water, I know this word. Also published in Netherlands, Pilgrimage. It also seems like a Christian book by, let's see. We all encounter times when our spirit feels dry, when doubt looms. The opportunity to tour Israel came at a good time. For months, my life has been a mindless plodding through necessary routine, as monotonous as an all-night shift on an assembly line. Oh my god, these words are hard to pronounce. So it's a pilgrimage in Israel. I wanted to go to Israel too, but nowadays this will be harder, I think. I think it's also a Christian book, so we have a lot of Christian books here. It's a theme throughout this video. The Dwelling, Tessa de Lu. And it was a film or movie made based on this book. So I don't see also the English title. Tessa de Lu. It's a Dutch author. She's from Netherlands, and I don't see this book in English, unfortunately. Still Woorden by Elizabeth Musser. Oh, it has a book on its cover. I haven't read any of these books. Oh, and I haven't heard about them, which is okay because a lot of them are not even translated in other languages. Lisa Randall's future was bright with academic promise until the tragic accident that took her mother's life and brought her own plans to a screeching hell. 18 months later, Lisa is still unable to get back behind the wheel. Eve McAllister driving school looks like Lisa's best hope for getting her life back on the road again. His patience and fatherly wisdom seem to transcend the driving experience, but Eve's own complicated past is about to resurface with consequence for everyone in his orbit. Oh my god, these words. I like this cover. Margaret Van Horn, The Duck is Junk. The covers are pretty interesting. I like the Dutch covers a lot. It's like the Russian covers in 90s, I think. In 90s. Yeah, I don't see this book in English also. I think it's also just in Dutch. Jesse Vogelar van Murik, Vivent Beschanding. Also, there is no book in English for this one, unfortunately. James David Jordan, Diepe Sporen. It has the cover of, if you've watched this reality mystery TV shows or detective TV shows, so podcast about missing people, about murder and all this stuff. So the cover looks like it. Why am I smiling at it? The English title is Something That Lasts. So, Ted Balik's public disclosure of an affair between his wife and the O'Fallon Bible Church pastor changes everything for Reverend David Parse and his family, plunging them into a struggle with God and one another that will span generations. So it's also about God, maybe finding of God, maybe struggles when something bad happens and we don't believe in God anymore. Yeah, seems like an interesting book. We have another trilogy, Melody van Verlanden by Jette Leibig Hoving. Yeah, I like these covers a lot. I have a feeling that we don't have this in English also. Yeah, there is no one English version, but it's a pretty interesting cover. Verloren Liefde by Karen Peters. Also, I can find this book in English. So this is all from this shelf. We have 2 more shelves to go, but I don't want to make this video a lot longer than it should be. So I'm going to select only the books that I know, because I didn't know any of the authors of these books. Yeah, except Dr. Queen, maybe. Dr. Queen trilogy, not the author. I have heard of that one. Unfortunately, I just found 2 familiar. I'm showing you for some reason. I just found the 2 familiar books, and there will not be a part 3 of this video. I hope you enjoyed first part and the second one. And I will show you now the books that I have found, and we will conclude on that. So the first one is Khaled Hosseini, The Villager. In English, this will be The Cart Runner. I haven't read, by the way, this book. I've tried to read it, but it was at the beginning of my English reading journey, let's say so, and the English in this book was a bit complicated for me, so I couldn't enjoy this book, and it was very hard for me to read it. So I think I should give it one more try. I should give it one more chance, because it's a very popular book, and I think I could enjoy this book very much. This is the first novel by Afghan-American author Khaled Hosseini, published in 2003 by Riverhead Books. It tells the story of Amir, a young boy from Wazir Akbar Khan district of Kabul. The story is set against a backdrop of tumultuous events, from the fall of Afghanistan's monarchy through the Soviet invasion and the exodus of refugees to Pakistan and the United States, and the rise of the Taliban regime. So I think this will be a very hard book for me to read, because, like I said, I don't do war books, because, okay, I'm sentimental. I didn't want to say that, but I think I'm sentimental, and I'm just I'm just imagining what these people are going through every day of their life, and I want to cry, and I want to kick someone, and I don't know, I have this rage in me, because why this happens in 2024, an age of evolution and industrialization and the internet, and why this happens. I don't know, I'm very enraged by that, because of their regime, because of how they treat women in particular, because if you know, I don't want to dwell on this subject, but it's hard for me to read. But I think these are important books to read because you got to know so much more about this by reading the books that are coming from someone from someone who lived there and who knows a lot more that we see on news, on television, and on the internet. And the second book is also by Halid Husseini. Sorry if I'm butchering the name. It's a Duzen Shideren Soner, and I think you know this book. It's A Thousand Splendid Suns. Also haven't read this book, but I'm planning to read it. This book is about a girl, Mariam. She is only 15 when she is sent to Kabul to marry the troubled and bitter Rashid, who is 30 years her senior. Nearly 2 decades later, in a climate of growing unrest, tragedy strikes 15-year-old Laila, who must leave her home and join Mariam's unhappy household. Laila and Mariam are to find consolation in each other, their friendship to grow as deep as the bond between sisters, as strong as the ties between mother and daughter. Yeah. Also, I think hard to read because I don't like what they do with women there, with little girls there. We all have a mother, and we need to remember that we all came from women, and we need to appreciate women and worship them, not treat them like some objects. So these two books were familiar to me. So have you read any of these books, and are they hard to read? Am I going to cry? Because I feel like I'm going to cry and I don't want to cry. I think all the greatest books in my life and all my favorite books made me cry, to be honest. Okay, let's wrap up. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you had fun watching it. If you've got to this moment, please leave a heart in the comments, because I know that a lot of people don't watch it till the end. I want to know if someone did. I don't know if any of the people watching my videos are watching them till the end, and I'm very interested to know this. Thank you for watching one more time, and see you next time. Bye!